Hello everyone. How you doing? How you doing? Happy new day. We're going to give it time for people to come in. It's 4:44 on the clock. Woo woo. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Hello, Rave Daddy. Okay. All about wisdom 365. Welcome everyone. It is just it might be a little bit of a lag. I'm not sure because I've seen the hearts coming up and your names coming in now. So let's give it some time for people to come in. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. Right now, I do have some bones that I will be pulling out and doing some divination on. And there's a form of divination that is called like bibliomancy. However, I'm not actually using the Bible. I have 4 books that was called onto me and then some cards. So I'm just gonna pull for general messages, and then I will allow messages, if anyone wants to send a donation and get donation based reading if they have a question, or we could just do some Q&A. We're gonna see how it flows. All right, y'all. So thank you all. Oh yeah, let me do that. Give me one moment, y'all. Well, I'm not moving far from the screen, but I have to do something over here. Woo-wee. All right. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Can y'all let me know if y'all hear me, or say something in the comments so that I know that it's working before I keep going? Because I'm loving this vibe. Are y'all loving this vibe? I'm pretty sure y'all are loving the vibe. So, because it's a fucking beautiful, abundant day. Okay, cool. Y'all do hear me loud and clear. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So, one of the books here is called The Blooming of a Lotus. And it has like guided meditation exercises for healing and transformation. I haven't actually used this. Hi, Sandra. But Spirit was like, let's do a couple of breaths together. So part of the bibliomancy is going to be from this book, Angel Therapy, Pussy Prayers, and Sufism. All right. So I have not read from the Sufism, so I'm not sure what messages are going to come through. I also haven't read from the Angel Therapy. Pussy Prayers I have read, and I have not read the Blooming Lotus as of yet, but I did skim through this book. And I was like, oh, this is awesome, especially for people that are just getting started. So that's really how I'll use this is in a form of bibliomancy. And then I do have the Goddess Power deck that wanted to come through along with dragons of the garden dragons. So yeah. Now I will be doing the full moon. We have a once in a blue moon. Second full moon happening in Capricorn on Sunday. So I am going to be doing those readings. If not later on today, I'm going to get them started for tomorrow. So we are going to start, and then I'm going to do the bones for those of you that's just coming in. I just felt guided to pull some cards to see what is coming through for the collective that is resonance with this space, right? And so if you happen to bump into this live, if you happen to be here now, this is your soul, your highest self, the most high, and benevolence and truth and righteous and perfect love and perfect trust for your highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of the collective that is here, bringing you to this space to deliver whatever message essentially is here for you. So, yeah. I might do Moonology just because it's looking at me, but I'm not sure because there's a lot going on here. And bear with me. I originally thought I was going to start with the bones, but Spirit is saying start with the blooming lotus. So we're going to end up doing some inhales and exhales. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how all the exercises are here, but from the ones that I skimmed through, they were like inhaling affirmations and exhaling affirmations. And what I liked about this is that I already I guide people to do exhales of a lot of the times people's like inhale blissfulness, exhale that which is not serving you, right? Or exhale anger. Well, I like to do inhale bliss, exhale happiness, right? So essentially, you are putting out into the universe that which you wish to receive back. So on your next breath, you get to inhale that happiness, right? And then you allow that happiness to come out, and so it's reprogramming it in a way of elevating to you in a really high frequency. It's not to ignore or spiritually bypass the densities, right, of your being, of your emotions, right? It's to honor if any resistance comes up. And I guess this is me guiding y'all before we get into the breath work, right? If you're feeling, this is what I tell people, is if you are feeling any resistance to the positive affirmations, then still say the positive affirmation to allow the reprogramming to happen, but honor what is happening in your energetic body, in your emotional body, in your mental body, in your physical body, etc., whichever body it is, because we're multidimensional beings, right? And so, yeah, if you can, energies, right? Allow yourself to get in a seated position or laying down, whichever is most comfortable for you. Actually, before you do that, if you don't already have water, take a moment. I'll give us a minute. What time is it? Yeah, I'll give us about a minute to get some water. And then, so 30 seconds now, right? So that you can get your water, and we'll get started. I'm pretty sure these are really short meditative affirmations. Okay, Sandra, no worries, no worries. Take a call, take your call. And then we'll probably do pussy prayers last to close up the space. And pussy prayers is also affirmations, is not necessarily what people may think it is. Ooh, okay, so all right, if you are ready, just allow yourself to sit back, relax, allow yourself to be in your own energy. This is to get acquainted with you, with your energy, knowing that you are one with the divine. You are the source of your breath. You are the source of your magic. You do not have to rely on anyone outside of you. However, others outside of you are mirrors, are lessons, are guides, right? And so that is why your spirit guided you here. That is why your soul guided you here, right? We act as affirmations. We act as empowerment. We act as chakras or organs or whatever parts of the wholeness of God's essence, Goddess essence, the most high creatress essence of your energetic field to be that messenger, right? To be that reminder, to be that light that refracts onto you the wholeness, right, of your kaleidoscope experience of life, right? So closing your eyes here, I'm just gonna do 3. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths in. So taking a deep inhale through the nose, hold it, exhale. No intention settings, just breathing and centering. Taking another deep inhale. Exhale. You can exhale through the mouth or through the nose. I usually do out the nose, but I think we're going to be doing out the mouth. Taking another deep inhale. Exhale. Just allowing yourself to recenter into this now moment. Breathing at your natural pace, keeping your eyes closed and relaxed. Connecting with the wholeness of divinity, for there is no separation of mind, body, spirit. So you are all, we are one. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale. All right. You can allow yourself to keep your eyes closed at this time. I'm opening my eyes because I am going to now knock on the book and see what is the breath work that, or the messages that's coming through for your blooming lotus if you are here. So just breathe naturally, stay in your flow. Okay. So it is exercise 8, which is touching and connecting. So I just want you to stay in a relaxed space and just focus on my voice. Allow your eyes to relax and surrender as you connect deeper with your breath, allowing your breath to connect to all of your senses and all of your being. The book doesn't say that, that's me, but okay. Take a deep inhale to your eyes. Aware of my eyes, I breathe in. Aware of light, I breathe out. Exhale. Taking a deep inhale to your ears. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Aware of a cry of pain, I breathe out. Exhale. Inhale to your ears. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Aware of singing, I breathe out. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Aware of the sound of rain, I breathe out. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Aware of laughter, I breathe out. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Aware of silence, I breathe out. Taking a deep inhale deeper to your skin. Aware of my skin, I breathe in. Aware of the sense of touch, I breathe out. Aware of my skin, I breathe in. Aware of the sun on my skin, I breathe out. Aware of my skin, I breathe in. Aware of cool water on my skin, I breathe out. Aware of my skin, I breathe in. Aware of ice on my skin, I breathe out. Aware of my skin, I breathe in. Aware of touching the bark of a tree, I breathe out. Breathing into your teeth. Aware of my teeth, I breathe in. Aware of an apple, I breathe out. Aware of my teeth, I breathe in. Aware of a toothache, I breathe out. Aware of my teeth, I breathe in. Aware of the dentist's drill, I breathe out. Breathing into your tongue. Aware of my tongue, I breathe in. Aware of the taste of orange juice, I breathe out. Aware of my tongue, I breathe in. Aware of the taste of lemon, I breathe out. Aware of my tongue, I breathe in. Aware of the taste of salt water, I breathe out. Aware of my tongue, I breathe in. Aware of the taste of hot pepper, I breathe out. Breathing into your lungs. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of smell, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of the scent of fresh grass, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of the smell of done, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of the scent of roses, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of the scent of fresh grass, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of tobacco smoke, I breathe out. Aware of my lungs, I breathe in. Aware of the smell of the sea, I breathe out. Breathing into your liver. Aware of my liver, I breathe in. Aware of the taste of wine, I breathe out. Aware of my liver, I breathe in. Aware of grassy foods, I breathe out. Aware of my liver, I breathe in. Aware of yellow skin caused by a sick liver, I breathe out. Breathing into your feet. Aware of my feet, I breathe in. Aware of my shoes, I breathe out. Aware of my feet, I breathe in. Aware of young grass, I breathe out. Aware of my feet, I breathe in. Aware of sand on the beach, I breathe out. Aware of my feet, I breathe in. Aware of a thorn, I breathe out. Aware of my feet, I breathe in. Aware of an anthill, I breathe out. Taking a deep inhale here. Breathing in the wholeness of everything that you feel right in this moment. And exhaling the awareness of now. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. And you can put on the comments what you're feeling, if you saw any visuals, if you felt anything, if you could feel what we were breathing. Did you feel your body parts? Did you feel that through? I'm going to read what the messages are here. So it says, these 2 exercises help us to be in contact with wholesome and fresh things, which have the capacity to heal. Because our minds are so often thrown into a state of confusion by our anxieties and our hurts, we have lost the ability to connect with the wonderful things in life. It is as if there is a wall between us and the richness of the world outside of us, and we have to become numb towards the healing things of the world because we cannot reach them. As you practice this exercise, although you may not be in direct contact with the things that you are asked to concentrate upon, you can find them by means of images stored in your consciousness by your 5 senses. You can call upon these images when you want them to present themselves. With conscious breathing and the power of concentration, contact with these images will help you to discover that your ability to feel is still intact. After practicing these exercises, you can go outside with your 6 senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. That is perception, not just the meditating mind. Continue making connections with all the good things around you. You will see that the outside world is brighter and more beautiful than before. Because you have put an end to forgetfulness and have lit the lamp of mindfulness, you have begun again to be nourished by what is wonderful in life. Ashe. Very relaxed and centered. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. And to be honest, like I said, I haven't really read through here, so I didn't know what was going to be said or coming out and whatnot, but that's exactly it. As I was reading it to you, you don't know what source messages may be to you. You don't know what images, when you're sitting in relaxation, whether it's daydreaming, pondering, minding your own business, driving, being in meditation, whatever it is, you may get a vision, and that which you got a vision of may not be physically present before you, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It exists for you in that now moment. And so essentially, this is to get you back into your power, like I started off with. this is your power. This is not me feeding you. I'm not giving you anything you don't already have, right? I'm just a spirit guide here. I'm just a sounding voice. I'm just a pillar of light. I'm just a fractal of wholeness and your expression of life, right? A mirror, if you will, of your consciousness, right? I'm in here in this space for you to experience whatever experiences it is that you are looking to experience. And so your soul brought you here for this experience, for whatever messages is for you, right? And so I love that. Maybe somebody needed a remembrance of like what it is to be in your imagination. Felt the body parts more with the breath. The images came through like a hologram, like a safety switch. Didn't want to feel no thorns. I love that, right? I felt like I literally, as I was reading it to y'all, I can visualize, like I see me visualizing stepping on a thorn and having the thorn and the thorn like still in my foot. And I was like, I didn't feel it, but I seen it because I didn't want to feel it, but I felt it to a certain degree because I felt the tension. I felt my energy like zoom, that alert system from the Nadi system. But although I felt the alerts, my consciousness was not in fear. So I didn't actually feel fear. I was able to continue to like just have the visualization, right? And so feeling that, right? Like what that feeling, can you distinguish the difference with your feelings and your emotions and your mind and your body and all of that, right? So we're going to go to, all right, Sufism, the transformation of the heart, or the angel therapies. I grabbed angel therapy first, so I'm going to see what messages come in here. And then I think before going to transformation of the heart, I might pull the bones. Let's see here. But I know pussy prayers is last. So yeah, agreed. Awesome. Oh, thank you. And one thing with the angels is like, because I found this book, right? And so the author who wrote this book, she has her ways of thinking and stuff like that. And she went more into Christianity now, and she didn't want her books around. But there's a remembrance of, for me specifically, knowing my connections with the angelics. And my name is Angel. Oh, yes, Angel. Hello. So angel therapy, right? This is by Doreen Virtue. And so even though like some people may have, feelings of like what is demonic and this, that, and the third, the angels want you to remember that we have many angels with us. And when you are tapping into a benevolent force like this sacred space that we have here, that purifying light, it dispels any false light, any false entities, and all light forces, all light beings must reveal their true nature, reveal themselves to you. And so when you honor yourself with that benevolence and truth and righteousness, and in the flow of even revealing onto you what is your true angle of light in a situation, in your intentions and your flow in your being, and allowing yourself the ability to receive from the angels of benevolence, and purposefully saying of benevolence, you can receive those messages. So I don't know who needed to hear that. And I'm also seeing the number 77. And it's funny because we have 4 here and we started off at 444. And so, yes, there are archangels such as like Archangel Michael. And I'm even hearing Zadkiel. Sandalphon, excuse me. There are many different angels, and they do not look like this image, is what they're saying. Like they are going to appear to you in the image in which is to your liking for your because they don't necessarily want to scare you to do their jobs. But some of you have a more of an open mind to them, so they start to reveal to you their like true image, which isn't like a humanoid, because they are not humanoids. My crown is itching like, whoa. So they are not humanoids. They never been human, but the ways of perception is based on your level of like of consciousness, but nonetheless you have the access of in your wholeness of their liking, of their light. Okay, so let's just get to what the message is here. That was just a rant. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So I'm not sure if anybody, it went straight to the main page. So it says jealousy. So I'm not sure if anyone has been experiencing any form of jealousy or jealousy from other people or within themselves. I think that jealousy is a disease, so to speak, right? But I'm not here to judge you. It's also, as much as it's a dis-ease, it's a discomfort. It's a dis-ease because it's a sense of betrayal to yourself. It's saying that something, maybe you feel like you need more than what you already have. And so for me, I'll read what the book is saying, but for what I'm getting right now is like gratitude is the attitude that dispels jealousy. When you are grateful for what it is that you already have, you allow yourself to be grateful for all that is being delivered to you, all that is being poured into you. And so you don't have time or energy to even focus on jealousy. It naturally just brings you into this higher vibration of it's already mine. I'm already fulfilled. I'm already abundant. I'm prosperous. And I believe a sister here, and I didn't mean to sue me. I don't know if you're still in here, but you wrote that you was feeling prosperity during the breath work, right? And so essentially gratitude is prosperous, right? Your breath is prosperous. And that which you put your energy to and your mind to shall prosper. And so being mindful, right, of that. And so I'm just going to read what it's saying here. And it looks like they start off with a couple of questions. So this may be maybe some journal prompting for some of you. Maybe it's for shadow work, maybe not. Maybe this is, I don't know. We'll just see what's going on here, right? So it says, do you believe that another person has more than you, precious one? Because you are a precious one. Do you imagine his crime that prevents you from acquiring that which your heart longs to hear and hold? These teemings of the mind hold you in suspension, and all the while you swim in the midst of everything that is dear. For the imaginings of the ego mind are what the world focuses upon. And all the while the love goes unnoticed and unenjoyed. Let us explain jealousy to you this way, holy child. There was a time when you enjoyed total solitude within the mind of God. Your heart and his knew no longings of separation. For all that you needed and wanted was near. Then, a brushing of the ego mind caused you to stir and look up around you. Suddenly, you noticed that you were not alone. And this moment of your imagination, you believed that your brothers and sisters were vying with you for the attention of God. In this competitive moment, you gave away the knowledge of your holiness in exchange for the imaginings of terror. For who without his holiness could not be afraid and feel vulnerable to mishaps and misdeeds? Yet this mad imagining is but a night's dream. Dear one, look around you again and notice the heartbeats of God that has never left your side and that now beats within the beast of every stirring creature upon the planet Earth. Your soul comes in all shapes and sizes, for that of a flea and that of a rat are nothing but the imprints of God upon the visual impressions of flesh. Seek no longer for hardships, sweet child, but instead cover your wounds with the saliva of his love. Dress yourself in the refreshments of returning to home in your heart. And center yourself within truth, which is the steady prescription for all that seems in all of you. We have never left your side since the nightmare began, Holy One. And while you believe you are suffering, we constantly nurse you at your side. Sweet and precious child of God, you will never near to heaven at this moment. For the truth is that you never have left except in your imaginations. We welcome you home with our enfolding wings, asking only for your forgiveness of yourself. For we do see that you are much too hard upon yourself and mercy is given to you, but which you oftentimes do not accept. Show considerations to your sweet soul at once, dearest child, and come before your truth within your shining light. For now you see the illusionary nature of imagining that one could have more than another. There is no one but yourself in truth. No one but the one soul that shines in faxated sprinkles of light from the one jewel, which is God. And none but you could he love more. He bestows his entire kingdom of love upon you now. Sweet wonder that you are. You have earned the keys to his high shining kingdom. No one can pry this key from your grasp and save you. Only by your decision are you deprived and disgraced. Only by your choice to suffer is misery. Are your needs really withheld? And by your very choice, you restore yourself all that you never left behind. We pray that you resurrect your truth and open the kingdoms to your waking experience upon this earth. Heaven never leaves you wanting nor brings you suffering. God's will for your soul and your flesh to be restored in truth and in love. Stand no longer outside the door, suffering in the rain, when the choice is yours to step into the shelter and the sweet covering of his mighty love. The end of suffering is here. And when you step inside, reach out your hand to your brother and sister who suffer in silence, a breath away from you. Smile the sweet shining lights of God as you firmly take their grasp and lovingly show them the shelter that awaits you both. The pouring and flow of the love from your hands into another is your heavenly creator's way of reaching through and cradling you both. Do not hesitate with its stirring rustles within your heart, urging you to take steps that bestow your beloved siblings with the love that you share. Hesitate not a moment, and instead fearlessly reach with a hand that plainly says, my sibling, we share God's love as one. As I help you, we both be blessed with internal peace. For there is no competition that seeks to win the Maker's love. All is shared in the instant you decide to give it away. Fill your heart's longings completely with this love. And as you shall, this overflow into the awaiting hands of another. Your replenishment is resupplied again and again and again, like a waterfall that spills its savory victory in a splendid show of beauty. Your overflow of love from the Creator's heart through yours and into another's is a marvel and a miracle for all to see. Do not seek for what you can have, but seek only for what you can give. And in this way you shall have everything and more. Woo-wee! Oh, that was juicy. Oh, listen, was that a word or was that a freaking word? That was juicy. I felt that in the totality of my being. I just can't even stop smiling, y'all. Oh! That was great. That was great. See, I know, like, sometimes there's, again, like, maybe there was about the breath, right? We had to start off with the breath and feeling things through. And it was talking about imagination. And, like, look at how that's even coming through with the imagination and what that can do to a person's mind, right? Wholeness, Rosa, wholeness, forgetting we are God who creates abundantly. Absolutely. Sexy spirit. Thank you, sister. Welcome. Parish, for being here. So I really feel like I should do Sufism before I go into the bones, because it's talking about the transformation of the heart. And I understand why intuitively I was guided to these books. And so the last book is also Pussy Prayers. And what's so funny is that I was also guided to the Goddess Power book. So, deck. And I don't normally do that deck. So we are unfolding the mystery of life and beauty of it simultaneously together here, y'all, right? Just the same way it's like when I'm doing tarot and stuff, but I really like the flow of this right now. So how you doing, Cicely? Welcome. The transformation of the heart. Ooh, that was okay. All right. So page 106 and 107, it says the relationship with the teacher. So 105 is started here. So it looks like a poem or something. The state of surrender. Hello, Mr. Synchronicity. Welcome. That good ass prana. Yes, yes, yes. And for those of you that's just coming in, we are in the middle of it. It's a great time. It's a good time. You're just on time. But definitely you won't want to catch the rewind when we're done with all of this, because this just is great. So Kadir. It's Khidr, so I believe Kadir and the states of surrender. The danger of judging a spiritual teacher by appearance is told in the Quran in the story of Moses and Kadir. So it says Surah 18, or Surah, right? S-U-R-A. Surah 18, 61 through 83 is the verse. So for those of you who read the Quran and want to check that out, y'all got a whole word. And let me tell you, I guess they going through we going through different portals and different channels, because you're going to get the message that you need to get. So somebody here go surrender today, because the Most High brought you here, baby. And I love you for it. And you are loved for it. And you are being replenished for it. So just allow yourself to accept and receive. All right, let's go into this. At the place where the two seas meet, Moses met Qadir, one who Allah had given knowledge of himself. Moses asked Qadir, "May I follow you so that you may guide me by that which you have been taught?" "You will not be able to bear with me," Qadir replied. For how can you bear with that which is beyond your knowledge?" Moses said, "If Allah wills, you will find me patient. I shall not disobey you in anything." Qadir said, "If you want to follow me, you must not ask any questions about anything until I myself speak to you about it." That's my boss's name, only spelled Qadir. Oh, that's so funny. Haha. You know, there might be a word. So listen, you probably, the guy, all right. Well, Qadir probably need this up in here, right? This is so funny. All right. So the two set out. They embarked on a ship, and immediately Qadir bored a hole in the bottom of the ship. "What a strange thing you have done," exclaimed Moses. "Have you bored a hole in order to drown the ship's passengers?" Did I not tell you," he replied, "that you would not bear with me?" "Pardon my forgetfulness," said Moses. "Do not be angry with me because of this." They continued on their journey until they met a young man. Moses' companion killed this young man, and Moses said, you have killed an innocent man you have killed an innocent man who has done nothing wrong. You have committed a wicked crime." "Did I not tell you," Qadir replied, "that you would not bear with me?" Moses said, "If I ever question you again, abandon me, for then I would have deserved it." They journeyed on until they came to a certain city. They asked the people for some food, but these people would not receive them as guests. Finding a wall on the point of falling down, Moses' companion repaired it. Moses said to his companion, "If you had wanted, you could have asked payment for your work. The time has now come when we must separate," said Qadir. "But first I will explain to you the meaning of those acts which you could not bear to watch with patience. The ship belonged to some poor fishermen. I damaged it because if it had gone to sea, it would have been captured by a king who was seizing every boat by force. The young man was a criminal who would have committed many crimes that would have brought sorrow to many people, including his parents. As for the wall, it belonged to two orphaned boys in the city whose father was an honest man. Beneath the wall, their treasure is buried. Allah decreed in his mercy that they shall dig out this treasure when they grew to manhood. What I did was not by my own will." That is the meaning of my acts which you could not bear to watch with patience. So before I keep reading, This is why it is important to trust yourself during your journey and have patience, right? One thing that I help people with is because it helped me, right? There was once upon a time when I didn't have a green thumb, and I was very impatient. I like to drive fast, like with the wind, bullseye, right? And nothing can stop me, right? However, during my journey, there was times when I was rushing so fast to get to my destination that sometimes I would miss the scenery, or I would miss a detail that was important for me later down in the lines of my journey. There's going to be times that we come across people or situations and things that's going to require us to do the tedious work, to be patient with ourselves, to be patient with the people around us, to be the observer before the analyzer or the judger, right? There's going to be times when you are guided to someone that has the knowledge and the wisdom before you, and yet you're questioning them as if you aren't the one that is seeking of their wisdom and their guidance, right? And so what I tell these people when they come to my path, and I share it with you all now, is take a seed, right? It's like a mustard seed, if you will, this tiny seed that grows big. People are the seeds to your fertile land, to your garden. And if you allow yourself to observe the people before you and around you, you will begin to notice that some will thrive more in the moonlight, while some will thrive more in the sunlight. Some will thrive more with a higher pH balance, while others, need more acidic soil. Some will need to be watered more, while others will produce more oxygen for you, or more carbon monoxide for you, right? So, for example, a snake plant releases, right, all the oxygen that you need at night while you exhale your carbon monoxide, and in the morning it releases that, right? And so it allows for you to breathe better. If you put a snake plant in your room, you can have better rest at night. It cleans the air for you. It's purifying the air for you to live longer, right? And so some may judge it and say, oh, well, that's a snake plant. I don't like snakes. And little do they know that that beautiful serpent has a beautiful awakening for them, waiting for them, right? While other snakes, they may come to prey and devour, but we already spoke about those messages right before, right? So if you're just coming in, I highly recommend you to also go back to the beginning, so that I'm not repeating myself. But you're going to take a seed. This could be a pepper seed. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of y'all have some fruits and veggies in your fridge right now. And you're going to take a seed. And you're going to plant this seed. And you're going to call it patience. The name of this seed is patience. And you're going to water this seed. You're going to plant this seed. You're going to water this seed. And you're going to talk to it. And you're going to allow your patience to grow as this plant grows, so that you can bear fruit. And if it withers, then just breathe and allow yourself to plant another one, and you call that one patience too. Because I have patience too. I got patience with you if you got patience with me, and we're going to grow patience together till we bear this fruit. And you shall see how you will become evergreen and everlasting and ever living and ever thriving. And so will your patience too. So perhaps that is somebody's homework or somebody's message that needed to come through. That's for you. Baby, there are some seeds that need some watering, and it just requires you to be patient too. For if you feel abandoned by everyone around you, perhaps it is you that is not allowing yourself the patience to bear fruits around you, and you are abandoning yourself from the experience because you have been delivered some guidance in which you know this is what you came here for, and yet you're still questioning it. And it's okay. I will never tell you not to go and question me. That's every teacher. It says surrender, don't judge the teacher, right? I'm not going to tell you to question me. I might tell you to shut the fuck up sometimes. And just because we're reading about Moses and all the gurus of the different teachings of Cristo and the angels and all of that, I will tell you shut the fuck up right in your motherfucking face. And I'll be like, listen, you're not fucking my mother, but if you're going to go try to act like you creating adultery and ancestry within your own fucking imagination, you're going to have to G-check yourself right now because you acting the fuck up. Let's take it back and come back over here and be washed by the light of Christ and get back to truth. Because you acting like a little hoe. And we're going to be the Holy Spirit in a different way. Okay? Okay. So that's how I be, right? And that's okay. Because if you allow yourself to see what fruits I may bear for you, you get the experience of bearing fruit. But if you do not allow yourself to see what is here for you, then it is you who are cheating yourself from your own garden. And that's okay too. That's your experience, baby. Your experience. She's already producing on her 3rd year. I'm telling you, my peach tree is named Patience. I love that. Oh, and she's producing on her 3rd year. Oh, I love peaches. Ooh, yes. Come. It's peachy for the preachy. All right. All right. I will show you truth. Beautiful, divine. All right. So let's see here what else I may have here. While Moses represents the outer law, Qadir, who is not mentioned by name in the Quran, is the archetype of the Sufi guide. Traditionally, Sufis such as Ibn Arabi and Al-Hakim, who did not have a physical teacher, counted Qadir as their teacher. The story of Moses and Qadir points to the need to unconditionally follow the guide whose actions are done by the will of God. Here lies the importance of surrender, which is central to the Sufi path. Through surrendering, the will of the teacher is the disciple learns to surrender to the will of God. It is simple to say surrender to God, but how do we know what God's will is? The ego. Here we go again with the ego. If I could fucking speak, the ego is coming through. Who got a big ego? Such a big ego. Okay. I got a big ego. I know I do sometimes too. I'll be like, go ahead. You know, I'll be wanting to act like Kanye so fucking bad sometimes. You know, but hold up. The ego so easily deludes us. And even when we think we are following his will, we may just be caught in another pattern of desires. To learn to discriminate between the voice of the ego and the voice of self. The hint from God in the heart takes years of diligence. The teacher, being a stepping stone from the ego to the self, helps us to learn to surrender. Learning to catch and follow the hints from the teacher leads us away from the ego into the bliss of divine bondage. On rare occasions, the Sufi gives a direct instruction to a disciple. Usually the process is more subtle. They may hint at inner work that needs attention, attachments that need to be broken. Surrender is much a state of inner attention of action. When we give ourselves to any experience, cooking an omelet or studying for an exam, we surrender to the experience. Spiritual life is learning to be in continual states of inner attention and surrender. The teacher is an empty space through which we can reach the divine, a mirror reflecting our own inner light. Surrendering to the teacher, we do not surrender to a person, but to the path and to the divine within ourselves. It is the job of the teacher to make sure that the disciple does not surrender to ego or the personality of the teacher. Sufis do not believe in guru worship, which is why the teacher is traditionally without a face and without a name. The teacher attunes us to the impersonal frequency of self, which is a state of lived devotion. Surrender is the natural orientation of the self, which always looks towards God. In our very depths, we remain in the attitude of prayer and praise in which we acknowledge that He is Lord. In learning to surrender, we bring the innermost states of being into consciousness. The yes within the heart is brought into the world of time and space. Woo! The teacher tunes us to the impersonal frequency of self. Okay, I read that. The disciple learns to surrender by being attentive to the hints and wishes of the teacher, and also just by being in the presence of the teacher being surrendered to God, embodies and reflects to the disciple a state of surrender. Surrender is a highly dynamic state because it allows the divine's energies to come through from the higher dimensions. The devotion of the teacher dynamically affirms and encourages the devotion hidden within the hearts of the wayfarer. The surrender of the teacher becomes imprinted into the mind, psyche, and even the physical body of the receptive disciple. Surrender is the most difficult thing while we are doing it, because we give ourselves to something beyond the ego. Every atom of self-anatomy rebels at the idea. The mind protests at what may seem irrational and without purpose. The ego fights with doubts and self-created difficulties, but gradually, the currents of love that flow from the heart dissolve the patterns of constriction and loosens the grip of the ego. We had evoked resistance because a natural way becomes a natural way of being. We become a yes person to God. Once we surrender, it is easy to follow the will of the teacher, the inner dictates of the heart. The work is then to watch the ego as it tries to trick us or draw us into conflicts with the self. Staying surrendered to God is a work of constant vigilance. Surrender takes us from the outer world of Moses to the inner world of Kadir, where the mystic directly follows the will of God. We learn to become an empty space for Him to enact His will. To quote Rumi, "Do you think I know what I'm doing?" ? That one breathes, that for one breath or half breath, I belong to myself. As much as a pen knows what it's writing, or the ball can guess what's going next. This is the state of annihilation. fana, in which the ego has lost its power to control. On the Sufi path, the journey to annihilation is made through surrendering to the teacher. At its deepest level, the surrender is a state of merging in which the soul of the teacher merges with the soul of the wayfarer. Merging is the process of fana, which leads to the merging of God. This is an esoteric essence of the relationship with the teacher, which happens on the level of the soul, not the level of personality. Irina Tweedy describes how this process took place within her. And then it goes into a whole other thing. I'm not going to read that, but I think I got the freaking point of what the message is, right? Chad, the chosen one, you're beautiful. Thank you. The moments when mind strikes soul. Whoo-wee. And there was a lot of he there, right? And so take what resonates in regards to that essence, right? If it's the Father, the Mother, the Holy Spirit, however it may come through for you. All right, I think I'm going to do the bones last because I'm really feeling called to go into pussy power. So let's see what the pussy power is saying. Come through. Mama Creatress is like, let's bring these portals through. Pussy altar. Y'all, I can't listen. They bringing us, we done went to the tabernacle. We went through sailing in certain ships and surrendering and you know, allowing ourselves to receive the greatness in the kingdom and being the altar of the pussy, of the portal of the mother. All right, let's go. I love this. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Tell me how y'all feeling. Woo-wee. Remember, consistency and intention are key. Pussy prayers. Pussy altar. Think about how you could create a space to honor your pussy. Now, this is more for for females specifically, but what I would say to the brothers here who are tapping into divine mother, divine feminine energies, you know, connect with the divine mother's pussy, connect with the divine feminine's pussy, right? Whether it's if you have a partner, right, you can allow this to be your portal. Allow this if you're married, right? Allow the woman that you're engaged with, that you're married with, that you're interwoven with to be your pussy altar, right? If you are single, again, using your imagination and connecting to the feeling and the sensation like we started off earlier, right? And not from a space of like ego, but from a space of true divinity and accessing that portal, okay? And then allowing that to be your altar space when you go there, and altering your mind like a pussy and you know, to a certain extent. Take it how it resonates, leave what doesn't, you know. It is what it is. Think about how you could create a space to honor your pussy, the divine feminine, at your own ideal experience of womanhood. It could be as big or as small as you like, out in the open or somewhere only you will see. Don't worry so much about getting it right, but focus on how it makes you feel. This is a space for you to connect with you. Use your imagination and create with colors and textures and objects that resonate with you. If you get the seemingly random idea to do something with your space, go with it. You might find yourself at a loss for ideas, and that's okay too. Be patient with the process. Be patient with the way this space comes together. Set the intention to create a space to commune and to connect with your pussy, the center of your power, and your divine feminine. Then watch how things align to lead you to the exact things you want. Some items you may want to add to this space are incense, candles, crystals, photos, quotes, affirmation, female figurines, or other representations of the feminine. Female-centered art, a special journal and pen, books, fabric, pillows, and a mat for movement activities. Once you create your space, decide what you will do there. You can meditate, journal, pray, sing, dance, do yoga, talk it out loud, or anything else that feels good to you. Set a routine for yourself that works for your energy and your schedule. Keep the space clean and beautiful. Change it as often as you choose. And then right after that is vaginal steaming. And for those of you who don't know, now you know, I actually do make yoni steams specifically for you. I do have a general yoni steam blend that is, you know, you can buy for yourself or use as a gift to someone else. But I actually do personalize yoni steams as well to really get into the sensation of your truth and purging and releasing anything that's not serving you. And so I'm just putting that out there. If you would like to connect with me, you can check on my schedule and book a free 15-minute consultation, and then we'll go from there. So because it came out, I'm just gonna share it, right? that was the way that happened. But this sounds like, you know, somebody coming into a space of really needing to surrender. So again, this may be somebody that's here live or somebody watching the replay. I am going to get into the bones, but for those of you who grabbed your cup of water earlier, lingam themes too. So that's a little bit different because the temperature, right? We want to make sure that y'all are still, the heat is to a certain degree. So yes, I can do them, but I would do them differently because obviously your testicles need to be at a certain temperature, right? Your pH balance is a lot higher than vagina. Vagina is more acidic, right? And so while y'all are more alkaline. So, you know, knowing the temperature difference is important. I would recommend it more in like a tea, right? So doing it like a tea, as if you're tea bagging. This is where that tea bagging comes into play. So it's not necessarily hot like a yoni steam per se, because you want to make sure that you're still producing healthy sperm, right? And so just putting that out there. But yes, if you have more questions about that, brothers, I got y'all too. Y'all could go make a tea for yourselves, and you know, if you feel ballsy, you can drink it. You know, if you share it with a partner, that's a whole, I'll break down that science outside of here. I don't necessarily recommend that unless you're really trying to get into like some forever connections. But please take a sip of water if you haven't already, because there was a lot of transmissions going through. And so I am going to get into the bones, and I'm going to get into the Goddess Power deck. Hey, Rimal, welcome. All right. I'm probably gonna just, what additional messages is coming through from the bones? Now, these are different animal bones here. And this is like completely intuitive here. Ooh. All right, so we have a backbone. This is a vertebrae here. We have a vertebrae. So let me see if you all can see that here. This is petrified bone. And so that's why it looks like the color that it is, because it has been petrified. Although I still have to be careful when I shake it a little bit. Even though it's still hard and it's petrified, it can still, you know, chip a little bit. But this is old bone. And so this vertebrae here, I'm hearing two things, right? So there's a saying, hi Ita, there's a saying that goes by, oh, they put a battery in your back, right? charging you up, giving you a certain energetic life force in that. So it could have been that maybe you didn't have your own backbone and you were just being charged up by other people's opinions, being charged up by other people's energies, other people's influences, and needing to strengthen your own back. Right? Strengthening your own back, straighten your own back, connecting with your own cerebral spinal fluid, the vertebrae here. This could be that maybe there was an injury to your back. So for some of you, this could be that, maybe you've been experiencing back pain. So paying attention to that. But there could be some lessons about who really has your back and who doesn't. This is really what I'm getting is who has your back and who doesn't, and really tapping into your intuition and your discernment to know who is another vertebrae to your spine, right? Who is another vertebrae to your spinal system, so that the cerebral spinal fluid can produce the proper amount of DMT that's needed for your lungs, that's needed for your spiritual insight, that's needed for your connection with source. And this is where perhaps there may have been people around you, whether it's remember we started off with that jealousy thing, right? So it could be that perhaps somebody may be jealous of you, or maybe you have been disconnecting yourself, essentially hurting your own spine with that. But that energy, the injury to the back, right? It's that there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of resistance, there's a lot of control issues, trust issues, woe is me type energies because of the influences around you. You can be, I'm hearing this could be somebody that's like really empathic, and so it's easy to fall into the feelings of others, and needing to just cleanse your own energy and recenter yourself and get back in tune with your spine, with your energy. Perhaps there may have been something where spirit is trying to move you forward into a new teaching, into a new realm in which, you're going to question why things look a certain type of way. And it's going to require you to have patience. And this is going to strengthen your spine, is strengthening your core, strengthening your spinal, all of it. Your bones, right? Strengthening your existence with your mind, your body, and your flesh, because there is no separation in that. When you can trust in your backbone, when you can trust in your peers, you can trust yourself to walk forward. You can trust yourself. This could be, all right, for whoever is feeling some doubt, whoever's feeling some resistance or that jealousy, whatever that resistance is, that fear of surrenderance, right? That's keeping you from moving forward, essentially. And surrendering, it's like when you're not surrendering, it's like you're paralyzed in a certain experience here. But spirit is saying, like, your back works perfectly fine. Your spine works perfectly fine. And if you just allow yourself to surrender, you will be able to move forward. This is going to mean that there's going to be new pieces to teachers, guides, peers, whatever you want to call it, other forms of your vertebrae, right? There are other forms of your vertebrae that's bringing you to this next level. So it's like a shedding of the skin. Your skeletal system holds up your flesh. So it is not to fear this transformation. It is not to fear your life nor fear death. It is to allow yourself the remembrance of all that is through the cycles of life, of time, but not being limited to just that. And knowing that the Most High is going to carry you to move forward in that way. If you can trust in yourself to breathe in the now experience, breathe, like going back to that breath work that we did in the beginning of this live and feeling that through, right? There was a part of feeling the skin. Well, they're saying go back into feeling your bones also. Feel yourself all the way through. Feel yourself in every vertebrae. Feel yourself in every organ, in every cell, in every space that you exist, right? And in that feels God essence flowing through you. And can you roll your eyes back and feel the secretion of the Holy Spirit of holy waters penetrating itself down through your vertebrae? Ooh, somebody about to have a great grand awakening. I'm just listen, it ain't even about my face. Like they said, the teacher is not about the face or the name. This is the thing, right? Sometimes I tell people, sometimes we get so caught up in how a person said something that we miss the message. Yeah, maybe a person cursed us out, or maybe a person yelled at us or something. But does that take away from the message of truth coming through? Right? So there's that too. It's not to say keep yourself in toxic environments or keep yourself to get abused. That's not what we're saying. Make sure you have a firm back. Make sure you allowing yourself to stand up tall. You walk with your head up high. You stand up tall. You connect to your vertebrae. You know when to leave and when to go. The vertebrae is you using your discernment and saying, this is where I'm not paralyzed. I could move where I need to move. I can go where I need to go. But there's times when even if a person gave you the information in a cool, calm, collective way, if you don't like their voice or their tone, or maybe you just don't like that person, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's somebody down the street that says something, and maybe you jealous of this person, or maybe you don't like this person, or maybe this person's jealous of you, but God done gave them a message to go through them to you. Removing the face, removing the name allows for you to receive the secretion of the Holy Spirit to run through you and keep you alive. This is, it's funny, this is a vertebrae, but what I just saw was the butterfly effect. You moving through portals and a butterfly effect of your mind, connecting your feminine and masculine side of your brain into the wholeness of one's divinity in that. The butterfly effect that was jumping through portals. Like, didn't at one point he was like in a wheelchair or something like that? I don't know. Maybe that's a movie for somebody to watch. I'm not sure. But this went from a vertebrae to the butterfly effect is what I'm seeing here. And if somebody is struggling with a message that's trying to come through from the Most High, and you're here and you're like, damn, I kind of been getting this message, but X, Y, and Z said this message, and I don't really like that girl. I don't really like that boy. It don't matter if you don't like them or not. The truth will never stop being the truth. And so help me God, right? So help me God. God trying to come through with a message for you to surrender to. So you can walk in the anointing and the covering and the knowing. The emotion of balance. Yes. Having a 360 view. Yes. So the bone of this message is the vertebrae. And I invite you all to not just take my words of the channelings that was coming through and the teachings of the Most High that's coming through, but to actually sit with this yourself and journal. What does connecting with your vertebrae feel like? Which vertebrae is from your lower spine, your upper spine, the middle of your spine? Which vertebrae is connecting with you? Allow yourself to feel your bones, and Source was giving that extra feeling to your bones with the breath work. So I invite you to kind of watch the replay again, do that breath work again, and then maybe extend it longer with whatever. I know it was feeling of the bones, but I don't remember what else. Every part of the body, I think it was, or something like that. So just connect and see what the vertebrae has to tell you. What does your vertebrae have to tell you, right? Because I'm just the messenger. And so this is how it looks also. And again, it's this color because, and if I'm honest, this could either be a big animal or even a human vertebrae. And I kind of feel like it's a human vertebrae because these are like old petrified pieces of wood. I mean wood. Look it. Of bones. And look it. So a tooth came out. So there is a message. There is a message that's trying to come through to you. Maybe it is you who has a message to share with others, but you're afraid that others are going to be scared of your gift or jealous of your gift or are going to judge and criticize your messages. But the Most High is saying for you to trust the journey, right? And so speaking the truth here, there's something about vocalizing and talking the truth here. And so this is a tooth. This is a tooth here coming through. And then this is the leg. So we were talking about walking in that path. And this is more like the hip here with like the femur. And so you could be a Sagittarius or have Sagittarius connection here. There could also be Taurus. But essentially this could be, and this is what, the left side or the right side? This could be that maybe there's energy stored in your hip, that emotions stored in the hip, some trauma stored in the hip that is asking you to do some rotations to allow yourself to release that energy. We did get energy dancing earlier. And so feeling that maybe you've been feeling like you need to do more leg work, right? Maybe you're healing something with your legs, but Sagittarius and being the femur with that, right? So this could be, you know, just feeling through your thighs, feeling into your femur and feeling how it supports your hips. It supports, you know, essentially all your bones are connected in some way, shape, or form. And this is, you know, right before the knee. This is, you know, before those changes and whatnot. So hitting your mark. Right? There's something about hitting your mark, speaking your truth. Don't worry about others putting the battery in your back. Be your own support system with that and connecting with your spine. Those that really have your back are going to show yourself. And so like God has your back. God has your back. The Most High has your back. And so you don't need to worry. You don't need to have fear. You don't have to think about that. That's, you are, you know, when you connecting with your spine, you have your own back, essentially strengthening your spine, strengthening your position here, because Sagittarius energy also gives you that support. It's the benefactor and it brings justice into order, essentially. And so when you're thinking of Sagittarius and Saturn, because of all the bones that's coming through, we have Saturn in retrograde, there could be some justice that's coming into your favor to put you in your correct and rightful position to restore order. You don't have to be a Sagittarius, and you don't have to be connected to Saturn, so to speak. I'm just sharing that out loud too with anybody who needed to hear that message. So those are the messages of the bones that's coming through for you. And then we're going to go into the goddess here. What does the goddess power have to say? And I'm fairly new with this deck, y'all, so please bear with me. Obviously I do the messages intuitively, and then I may read from the book. We'll see what's coming through. Hello, welcome. Excuse me. And you know, there may be some resistance for some of you when it comes to connecting to the divine feminine energies. For some reason, it could be maybe due to some indoctrinations, which is probably why I needed to read the messages in that way. A card flew out. I didn't even realize it flew out. Why I needed to read the messages in that way. But we have, I can't even make it up. It flew out. Okay. Let me just give you a moment with this. So we have Om Shakti. Shakti, Shakti, Shakti. Transformation. The number 46. Shakti is the divine feminine essence. In Hinduism, she is the divine feminine essence that embodies all the goddesses. All the goddesses are birthed from Shakti. All the goddesses connect with her, and she connects with, so we're talking about like divine feminine and masculine energies. There's Shiva and there's Shakti, right? There is Ida, and then there's Ida, Palingala, and Shashuma. Shashuma being in the middle and Palingala being the divine masculine energy. And so there could be a lot of divine feminine transmissions that's coming through you right now to connect with, and perhaps there is some resistance. Maybe there's some fears of connecting with your Shakti, connecting with your feminine energies. Maybe I'll read the comments in a moment. Maybe there is one thing about the surrenderance, right? That is a divine feminine energy when you go into stillness and you surrender. But she's also saying like her power is beyond stillness. Her power moves. It moves through all actions. She is the core of all actions. The masculine moves to the power of her Shakti. The masculine takes action from the energy within it that's charging it. From the mother, the feminine energies, the invisible, the inner you, that which is beyond the action, right? That which is the knowing, the wisdom, the power that charges up the movement, the power that charges up that action. She's in that. She is that. So when you surrender to your thoughts, you begin to write. And so she is, there spoke about the pen, right? I think it was with Romy. They spoke about the pen, knowing what it's going to write. So being in the mind of it. So as your hand is doing the movement, right? It's moving with the power of movement. But the action is in the movement. But the power that is charging that movement is the thought that needs to come into fruition, into writing. And so it's the idea that came through and says, hey, I'm going to write this book, or hey, I'm going to write this poem, or hey, I got to do this task, or I got to remember this, or whatever the case may be. The energy that's empowering and charging up the movement is Shakti. Surrendering to Shakti surrenders to all things and allows the Father, divine masculine, to move you in that. For he is one with Shakti and they are not separate in that. And so she is the force. This is why Shiva sits on top of a mountain meditating for long periods of time, because he's always connecting to Shakti to guide him, to give him the inspiration, to connect with his breath, to connect with ideas, to connect with the universe, to connect with the yoni, to connect with the altar in his kingdom, in his mind that has the kingdom with many rooms and many mansions in there. But perhaps there may have been some hardships in connecting with Shakti due to indoctrinations or teachings of there. And so this is where it's beyond the face, is beyond the name, and it's within the spirit of what is. Why do I only see the gems or crystals moving on her forehead? That's so funny. Emotional balance, masculine and feminine. Yes, guided by spirit. So I'm actually going to see what that. So we got right here. Boom. All right. Empowerment. I thought I dropped something. Wonderful change is at foot in your life when the Hindu goddess Shakti comes to support you. All your longing, desire, and focus on something better in your life, coupled with your willingness to do the work, has ignited the life force energy of the great goddess. She responds now to bring you your heart's desire. Know that now is the perfect time to move into the highest version of yourself. Are you ready for this change you so badly wanted? Everything depends on how honest and clear you have been and how willing you are now to explore other ways of being authentic in the world. You have the magical feminine divine energy of the creator goddess Shakti to help you when you become open to doing things differently. You are stepping into your destiny. Do so wisely and without guile. And you, give me one moment. Hello. And you will be amazed at the way your world awakens within breathtaking beauty. Alignment message. Sometimes people and situations come into your life as the kind of change agents that turn your life upside down. What you thought was real and expected is challenged by someone else's perspective or behavior, which you have no control over. This can be painful and deeply confusing, but the creator goddess Shakti wants to offer you her guidance. Can you see how everything that is off balance is serving you now, helping you to open old wounds so that they can fully heal? You know you are seeking this change, this magical metamorphosis for a better life for you and your loved ones. Right now, your alignment task is to love that part of yourself that sabotages your effort to move forward. Love the insecure you, the one that is jealous, the one that sees not enough when the world is truly full of potential. Life loves you. The feminine aspect of the universe, the great goddess herself, all of your angels and your guides and helpers remind you that you came here as a spiritual being learning to co-create the world anew. Yo, I cannot make this shit the fuck up. When I seen the first message, before I read about jealousy, I was like, isn't that self-sabotaging, like a betrayal to yourself? Right? Of it being a dis-ease, a discomfort to that. The backbone, like really allowing yourself, the angels, like it literally talked about everything full circle. So I really love that, how Source is essentially navigating everything through with divine feminine transformation here. So I'm going to leave that card out. Oh, any questions, comments, concerns? I'm going to take a sip of water. I invite you to take a sip of water as well if you have water, to allow these transmissions to come through for you, to serve you for your highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of everyone involved. Excuse me. Water is life. Water is healing. Water is cleansing. And it allows the continuous overflow of the Most High to replenish and rejuvenate and restore accordingly, to overflow the abundance of love and grace and gratitude within me and through me into the lives of others connected and tethered to me, and releasing the attachments for their sovereignty and my sovereignty to still be in the wholeness and oneness of divinity and good health, good wealth, good fortune. You honor me, I honor you. I'm so grateful and so thankful. Ashe. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot. I really love those transmissions. I am going to do the garden dragon. This could just be maybe perhaps a fruit or something that is trying to come through with an additional message here. Just to complete the ceremony. As Spirit said, this is a ceremony that we're having here. So we're having a ceremony, guys. Thank you for being in ceremony with me. All right. Look at how you could be anywhere else, but look at how special you are. You are in the kingdom of the Most High, having a great anointing and ceremony here with your lovely co-creators, right? That's working all angles of light in honor of our highest and greatest good collectively together, right? And so, we have guarded. Somebody is guarded. Let your guard down and know that you're protected, right? It's okay, because at the same time, anyone or anything that tries to come into the kingdom that does not belong here will get devoured by the guards that manage the gates, right? Because everything essentially is to work out for your highest and greatest good in your kingdom. So what is your guard? Who is your guard, right? If you're feeling so guarded, maybe connect with your spirit guide that is guarding your gates, that is guarding you from going into this great grand wisdom. Perhaps it was a protection that you put upon yourself at some point in your life because you was guarded, and now it is meant for you to step into that space, and it is you that is the guard in that space. Are you gatekeeping yourself? Are you gatekeeping yourself? Or is there another gatekeeper? And if so, then who are you that they cannot allow honor and privilege for you to not walk? Do you not belong in the kingdom? Are you not honorable? Are you a liar? That is an instrument also, and so perhaps there is a liar in you that needs to be attuned into truth and get back in restoration. And you know what? Connecting with some lyran spirits, they'll bring you into that, right? Because, essentially they played with the liars and restored it to truth there and connected with the harp so you can get into the heart, right? So that you can be restored in that kingdom, in your anointing. And so artichokes, which, by the way, did you know artichokes are a flower that we call a vegetable? It's just a hard flower. It flowers, it opens up. And I have some artichokes there, by the way, which is so awesome. So it's both a plant, it's a flower and a plant, and I'm not sure if it's called a vegetable, but it is a plant that's a flower. Guarded. You could envision your protectors, you could envision your guards. Greetings, multi-dimensional muse. It's been such a beautiful transmission. I definitely invite you to watch the replay because this has been like no joke. And so in the bottom of the deck is garlic dragon with boundaries, and then fun is peeking out with eggplant. So it could be that you certain boundaries that you put on before, because I keep hearing that it's somebody that's trying to protect their energy. And I think it's a beautiful thing to have your energy protected when you are in a space of true discernment, when you are in a space that is being guided by the Most High to be guarded, right? And so allowing yourself to discern between your traumatic voice, your ego voice, and God's voice, right? That message came out earlier, so definitely go back. I don't remember the exact words of how the message came in, But this is the Garden Dragons. I love this deck here. The Garden Dragons. And so I'm going to read it also from the book, but perhaps there was a boundary that you set for yourself that is actually keeping you outside of moving forward. We spoke about the paralyzed and the willingness to like really, do you really want to transform? Are you guarded by something? Are your traumas keeping you in a space of ego, keeping you in a space of fear, of surrendering, of allowing yourself to receive that, right? That's really what I'm feeling. I really feel like it's there. When you get into a space of being so covered by the Most High, you know that there isn't a thing that can hurt you. And so even that which attempts, it gets broken down before the thought could even fully process, before the thought could even turn into fruition. It gets transmuted by the divine Shakti mother instantly, and allows for your secretion to stay in its holy light, to be in the purity of your light. But you have to be honest. So are you honest with yourself, or are you lying to yourself? Are you lying to others, right? Because there was something about the liar, and I really feel like it's maybe whoever here, I feel like you're jealous of an old version of yourself. Like, I don't even feel like you're jealous of somebody else. I feel like you're jealous of an old version. Maybe you had an experience in the past where you were fruitful and thriving and all this and that was so beautiful. And maybe you don't feel like you're in that experience anymore. And you are being extra critical on yourself, and you're being extra hard on yourself, and you're guarding yourself, and you have all these boundaries and these limitations and these thoughts, and you want so bad to be that version of yourself which had already played itself out. It had its moment, it had its time, and you transformed from that. And in that transformation, you got to another space, and you're transforming again into a new space. But you can't even see that you're being invited to this new transformation, for you to grow a new spine, right? For you to, the vertebrae, right? Because I was working with bone spirits earlier, to connect with your bones, right? And read. Spirit is so good. You know how, like, we have the ability to regenerate our own bones, right? And it's like you are regenerating yourself, but you will be all versions of your past, but you will not be them versions at all, because you will be anew. And allowing yourself to be anew. Allowing yourself this new experience with the old experiences to thrive, so you don't even have to be jealous of you. You don't have to be jealous of your old body. You don't have to be at this comfort, at this ease. Oh, you were skinnier and now you're bigger. Oh, you was this and now you're that. Oh, you were... No. That's okay. That's all right. Jealousy is a disease. It's a dis-ease. It is uncomfortable. Do not be uncomfortable in your own skin, for you are one with the Most High. Source makes no mistakes. You are beautifully calculated. So allowing yourself to be with, surrender to the teaching, surrender to, if Source is bringing you to say, hey, that is your guide, trust in the journey. If you feel called to work with me on a one-on-one, trust in that journey. Trust you before you trust me. But in order to trust me, you got to trust you. I'm only going to be here as a reflection, as a messenger of the Most High. The mirror to you as we spoke it through. You have to allow yourself to trust you. To trust you, you got to love you. And if you don't know how to do that, that's okay. I trust me. And if you trust Source, the Most High, and you're here, then trust that. Trust in your faith. Hold on to your faith. And when your faith says, you know what, enough is enough, trust that it's okay to walk away too. Whether it's coming in for a message like this, or it's actually to book a deeper, thorough connection to guide you, trust that. But the way through, in order to go, you got to go through it. You got to let me in, and you got to let yourself in. You got to let yourself in. You can never run away from yourself. You will live with yourself forever and ever and always. And it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful thing, because you are a beautiful experience. You are a beautiful thing. And I know I'll be cursing people out and stuff, like cussing people out sometimes. But how fucking silly it is to be jealous of yourself. That's quite a beautiful imagination, if you ask me. Because, like, how you view yourself, right? And, like, the way of the worlds of what you want to manifest for yourself out there is, like, just let go and allow yourself to be in the manifestation of what you wish to create. That's in your heart's desire. But letting go of how the ego says it has to be created, and allow source to be part of the co-creation of that desire. It's beyond the desires, wasn't it? Wasn't it something about it being beyond the desires, and that it's already yours? Something like that. It's already yours. It's already given to you. You just got to allow yourself to be in there. You are the moment, guided by your own belief within. Ashe. Amen. Aho. I love you so much. I thank you for sharing your gifts. I am impressed by your knowledge and can never get enough. I love you. That is just what moves through me, right? What allows, and like I share what is shared. Like this book, what I'm about to read is a shared experience, right? Like this was somebody else's putting together of creation, and I get to share it. It was shared onto me, and I get to share it with you. Right? Because there's enough. It's so bountiful. There's no need to be jealous of another creator. There's no need to be jealous of anything when it's all in your hands. It's all in your favor. It's all around you. It's all within you. So yeah, y'all seeing me going through channel messages of like me channeling and me reading. And I don't always do that. But lately I've been doing, like, it's been a thing, and that's okay. Like, there's flows. I never did that shit before. I just channeled all the way the fuck through all the fucking time, you know, whatever. But maybe this is the phase where it's at right now, and that's okay too. Like, I ain't mad at it. Go ahead, do your thing. She looking good doing her thing. I'm liking this flow, this vessel right now. She doing it, and I'm like, hey, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, drop down and get your eagle on, girl. You know? All right, let's gut it. Generally green all over. This dragon ranges in the softer palette tones of olive and character use. It has fairly sharp spines tracing down its back, also including an eye-catching bristling on either side of its jaw, with violet eyes that are deep set. The artichoke dragon does not have 360-degree vision. Didn't we talk about 360-degree vision? Seeing 360, but the artichoke dragon does not see 360. There's something that needs to go full circle. Maybe you did a 180 from one lifestyle to another, and it's time to do a 360, and it may seem like you're going into a cycle of things all over again, but that's so that you can see where you have healed and where you have not, and allow yourself to finish that 360 to then move on to the other geometric shape, in which is your experience that the angels want to move with you through. Anyways, let me keep reading. However, it makes up for this weakness with an agile, bulbous tail that provides a firmable dents. The wings have jagged edges with an almost thorn-like feel to them. Didn't we talk about thorns in the meditation? Nah, it's getting juicy. All right. The wings have jagged edges with an almost thorn-like feel to them. This is an easily overlooked dragon due to the camouflage nature of its coloring. The habitat. The artichoke dragon prefers a good, strong source of light, but can make do in shady areas. They are found in areas of the world with long summers and mild winters. They nest in soil, preferring well-drained areas. This dragon is very particular about how much water it gets, with too much being as detrimental as too little. Look for patches of thistles when seeking this creature. Did we not talk about looking at people and noticing, being the observer, to notice how much sunlight or shade they may need, or water they may need, or and whatnot? I said I was just a messenger, right? Okay, hold on. These scales, which tend to fall off starting in the second year, are edible and good with butter. The tender hearts of this dragon is vigorously protected by a thicket of tiny spikes called the choke. The tail can be held in a tight curl, then unleashed with a surprisingly swift force. While this dragon has a nearly inaudible cry, its breath can make the air sweeter. An inaudible cry. Mystical meaning. Your talents may be overlooked just now. Are you hiding them from the world? This is a challenging time for you. You need to look for ways to let others see the real you. Guarding yourself from the interactions may have become a habit rather than a necessity. Like the artichoke dragon, you could be presenting a spiny exterior, making it hard for people to get your soft center. Try to avoid lashing out until you really explored why you feel so prickly. It could be that your own mental state is preventing people from seeing how fabulous you are. I'm going to say it. My ego want me to say it. I'm going to say it. Shut the fuck up and get out your own way. I love you. I love you. All right, you could talk. You don't have to shut the fuck up. Who the fuck am I to talk to you like that, right? Talking to you like that. How disrespectful. Respectfully so, though. Get out your own way. Get out your own way. I love you. I love you. Being too guarded. Yes. Yes. Oh, you think I'm adorable? Thank you. There's going to be people, there's going to be situations that's going to seem hard. They're going to talk to you rough. Things are going to feel rough. You talk to yourself rough, right? And so maybe you already talk to yourself like this. And again, it's not to be hard on yourself in this way, right? Like, I don't have to be a fucking prick, but are you being a fucking prick to yourself? Maybe I'm just fucking acting like a fucking mirror to you. Do you talk to yourself this way? I know I do sometimes. I really be like, yo, Ange, just shut the fuck up. And I'm like, and my tongue's so long, I just have to bite it. And I feel like I'm stepping on Shiva to allow Shakti to transform me into a space where, ooh, it just felt so good to shut the fuck up and get out of my own way. And then I say, this is not a gender war. I love him too. She loves him too. So, and we resurrect him back to life because we love him. Hubba, hubba, yummy, yummy, come here. Om Namo Shivaya. You're alive too. You're alive too. The spinal cord. I kind of want to bring that out. Somebody's about to have Kundalini awakening through, and this ain't even about you needing anything like a plant medicine or something, or hallucinogen or something like that. This is about breathing into you. This is about breathing into you, baby. You are the one with the wholeness of Kunda. Kunda. Kunda, might need to do a dance. Kunda, lini, lini, kunda, lini, lini, ah, ah, ah. All right, let's get it. Let's go. Saturday's return to Sunday. What? Oh, yeah. Saturday return back to the sun. Yes, yes. Where's that? Let me show y'all this. For those of y'all that just came in, we had the vertebrae. These are petrified bones, so that's why they look the way that they look. They're old. They were actually found by a ranger. He had been a ranger for like over 20 years, and he will find bones throughout like the riverside, by the trees and stuff like that, and he would pick up the ones that were petrified, and so they were part of his bone collection for many years. And then spirit just guided me to him. I actually have a skull. The skull is not petrified. She's a lovely vixen. Yeah, now I was like, oh, you're bringing me a vixen? I didn't even know it was getting foxy over here, but all right. What's that song with Foxy Brown? Tell them freaks to find a man of their own. Oh, no. Okay, no? Yeah, I think that's one of her songs. And so he shared with me this was not all of his bone collection. So we had the bone, we had the tooth, which I gotta try to... I have other bones in here, so I have to try to get it out. Have to jump off, connect back at 8. All good, all gravy, yes. Okay, here's the tooth. So it was about speaking your truth, right? And so there could be a throat chakra activation. And I know for me, I've been feeling that, right? Like, Istrala satu kua satiaka, ikriala satu alkia satiaka, akriala satu anisitiaka, ilikia satiaka sotuaka yisitialaka, akriala satu anisitiaka hisialaki sitiaka sata, utala satiaka sitiaka sitiaka sitialakua sitiaka, inikua na satialakia sata lakia satuakia satalikiata. And it just feels so good. I'm trying to find the other bone, but it was like the hip or the femur. Well, I think this is it. And then it was the leg, part of the leg. Thank you so much. I'm just allowing. So I had this beautiful... I had to do a reading for a client the other day. I don't know if she's still on here, but she was on here. I'm not going to say her name because it's her business. But right before I was getting ready and I was holding space to get ready into doing this reading for her. And I just had this like burst of light language trying to come through. Well, not trying, it was coming through. And rather than resist, I surrendered. You know, a lot of the times I'm like, what am I even saying? Or what am they doing? XYZ. And man, I just let it flow, and I started speaking the light language, and I let go so much and trusted in the process, because I knew it was the language of my soul coming through. My heart said, and I just felt the energy just like literally just like onking into me, and like a cane essentially, and just like, and it just washed, and I just started crying, just like beautiful tears of like joy and gratitude, and it was just a moment, and I was just in that vibration in my body, and I can see like I was getting flashes, and it was just so beautiful. And then I like came back to center, and what felt like so much time had passed was just like a minute. And I was like, oh wow, like, and I went and I did the reading for the sister. Yes, bliss vibrations. I love when it washes over you. Yes, it sounds almost elven. Interesting. You know, just don't judge your experience. Just allow. You know, sometimes for me, I used to want to identify what I was saying and where is it in the root of it. And I trust my journey. I trust myself so much that for me, I'm always going to reveal. My soul will reveal all things onto me in divine timing and when it is. And so it is all the time. People snitch on themselves to me all the freaking dang on time, and I just am grateful. I'm just grateful for the experience to be revealed the truth, right? And in that, when there's things that I'm not allowing myself to be in those conflictions, and be in confusion, because God is clarity. Right? And so where there's confusion, there is solution, there is awareness, there's an answer, there's a revelation, a truth, a direction in which it will be revealed. And so I allow myself to be open to it, and I also allow my discernment to be the filter of that, to make sure that I am moving with the light, the truth, and the way. And so there is a thing about there is no mistakes, there's just lessons. I affirm that whoever needed the message to come through today, that it is revealed to them, that it is delivered to them, that it is serving your highest and greatest good. And for the light language, just allow yourself to receive and be open. Even if you don't know what it is that I'm saying, just allow yourself to receive that. For essentially, it is going to reveal itself to your soul, in which it's a language of love. You know, I'm an embodiment of love, and I share and I pour love into you, because I have so much love to give. I have so much love to give, as I have so much love that I embody and that I receive. I am loved. I am love. And I am a lover. I am all of that. And then some. I ask Spirit to reveal the truth in all things. Ashe, and so it is. So it is. So if anybody who just came in, I strongly recommend that you watch the replay. I am opening up space now for anyone who may want a divine message. If you want it with bones, I will do the bones. If you want it with cards, I would do it with the cards. If you want it from the book, I will do it from the book. Hi, Kaya. And if not, then I affirm that you received whatever message it is that you need to receive. But if you would like a message for you, if you would like to send a donation, cool. If not, cool. It's all good. Yes, I definitely was already thinking about you for sure. So I'd love a divination with the bones, please. Sure. So you have a particular question. If you have a question and you would like a reading, put the question down in the question box below. If you want a general, just put general. And so that way there's a list and I don't have to like go through the comments because I will just go bizarre. So just let me know if you have a specific question or if it's a general. My PayPal, you're gonna have to ask me my PayPal link. I don't remember the link, but I will. The email I believe is angelicssoul11@icloud.com, but I will pin my Cash App for anyone else. And for you specifically, no, you already know we have our thing, and this is a energetic exchange from earlier. The Cash App is Angelic Soul 11. And again, you know, this is for anyone. Oh, I typed that wrong. This is for anyone that feels like sending an energetic exchange, you know, for their reading specifically. There is no obligation. It is a donation. Okay. Here we go. So, bones. Wow, you have a lot of animal spirits around you for sure. Like you have a lot of ancestors, but you have a lot of animals. A lot of animals coming through. And did you want a general? I don't remember if you... Did you want a general? Yeah, general, okay. So I'm getting the chants higher. Ooh, this came out earlier. Okay. I have a lot. I don't have all the same bone. I promise I have other bones. I'm going to probably pull out 3. So we'll see here. So this one is actually, is this the same lake? I think this is a different lake. What I saw is, I think those are the bottle openers. I saw this like a bottle opener. And essentially it's about going beyond limitations. Like so far out there. And how I seen it, even though they're showing a bottle, it's the gas, and being a star being a star is made up of gas. And taking yourself outside of the bottle, of that vessel, of that container in which you were fermenting in which you were growing. You needed that experience. You needed to ferment in that experience. You needed to be in that experience. To rediscover, there's very purposefully saying rediscover your essence as a star being. And as you were accumulating all this gas, you were accumulating all these light codes, you were accumulating all these ways of being of your light, and you were outgrowing your environment, and so it needed to pop. Source needed to pop the lid, and so there was a major crown chakra activations that was going on right through your body and bringing you into space, essentially, where the sky was your limit, because there, you don't run out of sky, you don't have that limit. And now walking the path, walking it like you talk it, not just walking it from other people's experiences, but walking it from your personal experiences. I am getting to do some ecstatic dance movements. I don't know why. I don't know if you used to be a cheerleader, being your own cheerleader, and like jumping jacks, maybe doing some jumping jacks essentially. I'm not sure if there's some energy that needs to be moved there from like jumping. But that's kind of what I'm feeling with the bone here. There could be some sadness that is clearing out, because I'm feeling some sadness coming out of the hips. Do you have a hula hoop? I would recommend getting a hula hoop, doing some hula hooping. So it kind of feels like almost like inner child, but it's beyond inner child. It's about the energy itself, Oh, wow. From being from a star to a planet and seeing the rotations of your rings, essentially. Tantric dance. Yes, I do that. I'm actually going to be hosting a dance virtually online too, so if you want to reach out to me about that, because I'm going to be doing, for those of you who made it this far, I haven't yet announced, I will be the first people. I'm actually doing a 40 days and 40 nights challenge. It's not really a challenge, it's a reconnection, a reunion, if you will. And so that I'm going to be putting out there to the public for those of you who want to join me. And there's going to be certain exercises there's daily exercises and activities that's going to be done, as well as live meditation and activities that's going to happen every week. So anyways, I'm just, because you put the tantric dance, so it came through. It's for me to share, because I don't always share those things. But anyways, yes, okay. So part of evolution is, how you went from being fermented in that bottle to going to outside of the vessel, like almost having an outer body experience, or being in the astral, and like, so being from a star to a planet is like thinking bigger of yourself, or creating bigger of yourself. So in visualizing yourself as a planet, how would you be as a planet? What does your planet look like? What luminaries exist in your planet? Is it, does it have all the seasons? Does it have all the colors? Or does it have, doing that form of visualization for yourself, and essentially creating a planet. Because there's different levels of that, of consciousness and creation. And so you've explored many lifetimes of being a star being, and you connect a lot with other planets, but essentially creating your own, or connecting with your own planet, and that there's something in there that is going to be coming through. And it could even be like creating your own sound. Like, what is the sound frequency of that planet? What is the sound? What is the language? Is there a language? Is there any of that? Like, all of it, right? So this can be something very, very, very open, crown chakra, very in tune with your like higher dimensions, higher chakra portals. And so also making sure that you're grounding yourself after every activity that you do. So essentially, as you're creating your planet, get back and get grounded so that way, you can be able to function and navigate through this, and then keep going. You'll be able to having access there, and it's going to become, there's going to be some sort of blueprint that you'll be able to see, like a star map, essentially, of how to get there, how to ascend and descend to and from there. So there's creating a map, a blueprint of it. So when you transition from this space, you'll know how to get there. Really fucking deep. Really fucking deep. That is what your message is. Everything around me is shifting now. Yes, I love that. I've done some major inner child work recently. Awesome. Wow. Yeah. Oh man, I was just Googling bone health benefits of hula hooping. Look at that. Look at that. Connections. Yeah. So that is your message, Connie. Connie, did you, I'm clicking on it. I'm not sure if it's pulling up or not. Oh, it is. Okay. Did you want a card, a bone, a message from the book? What did you want, Connie? Or did you just want me to channel without any of the divination tools? That so deeply resonates. Beautiful. Thank you very much. You're welcome. There was a message earlier in the realms of surrenderance. And I feel like you do a good job, but there could be something possibly that is trying to teach you a lesson in which is for you to surrender to. But I see you really in a deep emotional space, like really emotional and almost like extremities of emotions. So like crying, but also with like deep laughter and joy, like a complete extreme of that opposite, essentially. I'm not sure if you've been really emotional lately. All right, I'm gonna pull from this deck. I didn't even pull from this deck today yet, but this is what's coming up. I don't know if somebody recently transitioned for you. Have faith in your dreams. The waxing crescent moon here. Have faith in your dreams. There's something about you giving onto others. Like we go through phases, right? And so there's periods where maybe we receive more than we have to give more to others. Sometimes it's an even exchange, right? Sometimes it's as they're giving, you're giving, and vice versa. And so, like, for example, there's times people think in relationships. I'm going to use a relationship as an example just because I'm trying to make this message make sense. So when it comes down to 50-50, it doesn't always appear 50-50 at all times. There are going to be times when you may be required to give more in that moment than your partner can give you. They may not be able to give you 50-50. You might have to put in 80 and they only have 20 to put in. But then there's going to be a time in which you only have 20 and they have 80 to put in. And then there's going to be times when you have 50-50 50 to put in, right? And so with that, there's different phases. We go through different phases. And with the waxing crescent moon here, I feel like God has given you source, the divine mother, the divine father, creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, your higher self has given to you so much that is waxing to you. So you had been in a space of receiving codes, receiving healing, receiving messages, receiving. And you have been giving, but it almost feels as if it's time for you to start giving also. Or it could be that this waxing moon, by the time the full moon, we do have the full moon coming up on Sunday, in which I am going to do the collective reading for that also. But it could be that there's things that's coming in that by the time you are full, it's remembering that you're gonna have to release to give, to make space to give. You are growing into a new phase. You are growing into this new version of yourself. You are growing. This is where the extremes of emotions are coming from, because it's like sometimes it is bittersweet. Sometimes it's like you releasing maybe people, places, situations, things that you know is like, and that doesn't serve you no more. And you're not really sad about that. You're just so trusting, and you're giving your attention and energy to that which you want to create in your reality, that which you want to, they're saying like hold your vision, focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. Like you're essentially growing into that timeline. You've been calling in like your highest timeline, and you are in your highest timeline. You are just growing into the version of that which meets you there. You're just growing into that angle of light in which in your perception is created of how that timeline looks for you, of how that looks for you. You are growing into that new experience, into that new environment, into that new body. And so it's going to require you to give more effort, give more faith, give more trust, give more in those areas, right? And you lose nothing by giving in that space. Yeah, it could be a lot of crown chakra activity going on. Violet flame energy going on, because I'm seeing a lot of purple here. And even like maybe there's, I don't know if you like hibiscus tea, or if you could drink hibiscus tea, but I'm getting like hibiscus, if hibiscus is something that you connect with. Great day, Goddess Ashe. Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome to my space. Thank you to everyone who is coming in. Our joy is the flip side of our grief. Absolutely. I've been on a journey for sure. Whew, yeah. Let me see here. Waxing crescent. Right here. One moment, y'all. So essentially, I'm just trying to see what else I see before I read all of this. Oh, I passed it. All right. Before I read you are in a very fertile position in your life. There's a lot of prosperity around. There's a lot of like being pregnant with life, you know. Funny, I've brought hibiscus juice twice this month and whole to make tea. Hibiscus coming through. Can't make this up if I wanted to. I feel like there's a little bit of, when I talked about pregnant with life, right? Like there's a bittersweet of things that's coming through, because you're in a very fertile space. And there's a lot that you're nourishing. There's a lot that you're giving life to. And everything around you essentially is blossoming. So there could be that maybe it's about you giving to the less fortunate that's happening for you. Or you're being put, like God has put you in the position to be able to give to like those less fortunate from than you. And not being caught up of the appearances of that, or like not being caught up in like the ego of that. Like, you know how there's people that like every time they donate to something, like they have to post it on the internet, like that they did a good deed or something like that. Like, I really don't feel like that's you, that you have to post that you did a good deed. I just see you doing the good deed. I see you being in the position in which God is using your hands, God is using your pockets, God is using your experiences to nurture and nourish not only yourself but others as well. I'm back on hibiscus tea the last few days. Dual sync, Connie. Look at this one over here. She and everybody messaged. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so it says here, and hello, welcome to everyone that just came in. If you don't know, now you know, you in the space of the bomb ziggities, and that means that you are too. All right, I'm being silly, y'all. I am always in a space of expressing my true authenticity, and with that I am forever grateful. This is you being grateful, Connie. This is you being the bomb diggities. This is you being able to attract. This is you being able to extract. It's like being able to extract the essential oils, which is the true life force of an experience, while still seeing the whole body of it. It's like being able to read the energy, seeing the aura, seeing the mathematicals of it, seeing like different dimensions of it, being able to understand how to alchemize, acclimate, appreciate, duplicate whatever energies you come into contact with. That is where you are maximizing yourself to. You are growing into that space of knowing how to differentiate, but not necessarily separating, but also knowing how to separate if you need to separate energies. I love how the spirit just brought that through like that. Like, okay. So an affirmation is, I am focused on what I want. Like I told you, Spirit said, don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what it is that you want. Having faith in your dreams. Don't give up. This situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. However, the waxing crescent moon card is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the questions you're asking about, and allow your higher self to download information to you about your best next step. Overall, this card suggests that there is every reason to be hopeful for your very positive outcome to the situation you're asking about. So keep the faith. Additional meanings. Just because you can't see your dreams doesn't mean you're not manifesting it. Don't look back. Stay focused on moving forwards. Be patient as events unfold. Dig a little deeper to find more courage. The teaching. The waxing crescent moon is the second moon phase in the 8 moon phases. But even if it's not the time of the waxing crescent moon when you pull this card, it still suggests you need to really pursue your dreams. It is time to put your foot down hard as you chase It's the time to put your foot down hard as you chase your goals. Yeah. You've been calling in your highest timeline. You're stepping into that position. God is putting you in the position for you to be able to walk the walk, talk the talk. God is putting you in the position of being in the alignment of that which you're asking for. And so just having the courage. And so with the extremities and the surrender, right? It's surrendering to not surrender doesn't mean give up. You know, people think when they hear surrender, they think that means give up. No, it's surrender to the guidance, surrender to what is calling of you in this phase, in this chapter in your life, and move as if it's yours. Move as if you know what you are surrendering to is your own victory. You know, and so I invite you to watch the replay also and sit with all the messages that came through and allow those messages to speak to you how they need to speak to you too, since I know you came in a little bit late. I don't even remember how long you've been here, but whew, that is your message. So there you go. Thank you for allowing me into your energy, into your space, into your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, and I release you back to your own energy and your own sovereignty to be your best version of yourself, right? And allow yourself the beautiful ripple effect of your manifested desires to be, you know, tangible in your experience, because it's already in your experience. You already got the green light. You already got that it's yours. It's already here. It's not the end. It's not the end yet. So that is your message. Okay. Did anyone else want a message, or is that all? I know we've been on here for quite some time, and I want to say thank you to everyone. Third Eye, Rave Daddy, Connie, Kaya, all of you who had tapped in, St. Jose, all of you, real ones, Move in Silence, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. All of you that I kind of missed your names, I'm so sorry. So many people came in and came out, and it's okay. Gina, Jay, Rosa, thank you. I love you all. I'm just shouting out those of you who are constantly supporting me and being here. It doesn't seem like there's any other messages for y'all. So if everyone is, didn't I say about the blue moon? We have a blue moon coming up, which a blue moon is the second moon, the second full moon or the second moon that happens in the same moon cycle. And so we have the second full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn at 29 degrees on Sunday. And so we have believe in the impossible with the blue moon here. And so trust and follow your intuition, trust and follow that you have been guided. And for those of you that don't know, here's a Cappy stellium, you know. So if you came here, it was with great divine purpose, and it is an honor and a privilege to be able to share these messages with you, and I don't take that lightly. I express much gratitude to the Most High to be able to be a divine vessel for you to be delivered whatever messages are for you. And essentially this blue moon, believe in the impossible, is telling you, yes, there's going to be moments where you got to put in the work. There's going to be moments that you know, putting down those healthy boundaries for yourself with great discernment, but also not getting your own way where you're so guarded, right? We had the message about being so guarded earlier. So, you know, allowing yourself to actually receive. And look, the book went straight to the page, so I'm gonna read it, and it says, "I'm lucky." If you hear, she's so lucky, she's a star. Oh no, but we're not gonna cry, right? Because if the heart is breaking, it is that it is being stretched and being renewed again so that more love can exist in you and through you, and that it is not really broken. We are not broken. Sometimes we're bent out of shape, right? Might need to listen to Pink or something. I don't know. Wear some Pink. Allow yourself to connect with some like Morganite for some deeper soul, self-love, rose quartz, you know, something. I don't know. Just allow yourself to love. And, you know, it hurts. I get it. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it feels like the world is coming to an end, but like the last card just said, even though that was for like Connie, it's for everyone that's still here, right? If it doesn't feel okay yet, just know that you're not at the end. And your Cappy Moon, look at that. So this is your full moon. This is your moon return. So it says, as the saying goes, something happens only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance and that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you've felt like you're hoping for too much or asking for too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it is important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about could never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. And remember, we were talking about holding the vision and focus on what you do want, right? It's already yours. It's already yours. All right, so additional messages of this card is miss the chance and it might not come back anytime soon. Whatever may only happen once. The person you are inquiring about is a rare find. Is somebody inquiring about a rare find? I know. Okay. If you believe it, you can achieve it. The situation is unlikely to repeat. This is not a karmic cycle that is repeating itself. This is bigger than that. It's grander than that. The teaching. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice and vice versa. Sometimes, though, we get a 4th full moon in a single season. When that happens, the 3rd of the season's 4 full moon is called a blue moon. At least that's what the original definition of blue moon is. These days, it's popular to use blue moon for a 2nd full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. Hello, everyone that's coming in. So that was the last card. If you just came in, there was so many transmissions that came through, so many messages from Moses and Kadia, I think it was Kadia, and the teachings and the surrenderance and the light and the heart activations and the angels and all of that. So I invite you to watch the replay. Allow yourself to eat the meat. There was bone divination, right? And I was going to say throw out the bones, but there was bone divination as well. So allow yourself to receive whatever messages. Like I said, if you came into this space, that is because the Most High has guided you into this space for you to receive whatever messages are for you to receive. You need only allow yourself to surrender to that. And trust in yourself, trust in your highest self, trust in the Most High to make no mistakes, but to be so well perfectly calculated that everything works out in your favor, and it is a guiding light, a mirror of your beautiful life experience. And so with that, I let you all go with love, fullness of wholeness and divinity, and gratitude for your highest and greatest good, my highest and greatest good, the greatest good of all, in good health, good wealth, good fortune. Peace, y'all.